Sal hurried out to the house, confronting Minorikawa through the front gate. Wrong one. Such a weird time to do it. Minorikawa got his wallet out of his jacket to pay the driver. Oh no, Kimizuka said, waving a hand. Don't worry about the fare. Huh? Why not? There's still plenty left over from what you paid me earlier, sir. That's what I meant by special fare. That's right, he paid Kimizuka a whole 10,000 yen for taking him to Endo Electronics earlier. But I mean, I'm not the sort of person to keep the change as it were, Kimizuka said. Minorikawa felt a surge of pride at those words. You're my kind of guy, Mr. Kimizuka. A man on the job can always count on Shiro Kimizuka's taxi, the driver grinned. Now go on, go. Thank you. I have a feeling we'll meet again. As Minorikawa entered the theater lobby, he saw a bunch of flower bouquets. Patrons' gifts of appreciation among the names of the senders were celebrities he recognized. The largest of the bouquets was sent by Koichi Nakamura of the Secret Society Chunsoft. The next largest came from Marutaro Ishihara for the government organization Joyart. Following that were these from actress Baraka Rose, popular scenario writer Ebisu Eponmatsu Tohoku, Buses Bus Tours Company Limited, Bus Guide Kimoko Amo, professional baseball player Masanara Kiyo, the ventriloquist Shinshin Ukulele. I hate how that's spelled. Player Hawaii Matsuda, online TV critic Genzo Akitsa, and so on. Evidently, the Wandering Angels are a pretty popular acting troupe. Episode 4, novice actor Takuya Amo, despite his nervousness, gave a creditable performance as Shido as the production got underway, but as the show continued, his inexperience became apparent. He went on stage with a big wire action scene, having forgotten to attach himself to the hurricane. Tozuka was quick to act, rushing on stage in the improvised role of assassin with an Edo accent number 1 affixing a rope to Amo's back during the confusion. People were setting out pamphlets and flyers out on a nearby table. There was a palpable tension in the air. The crew seemed skittish as they went about their work. He's late, someone shouted all of a sudden. There was a man over in one corner of the lobby, railing angrily to nobody in particular. Why the hell hasn't that journalist shown up yet for the interview? Looked like he'd been waiting on Minorikawa then. What's this deal, pulling this while we're this busy? Guess that's Shinosuke Oarai. I've been busy myself, Minorikawa said, keeping his composure. Trust me, I know how it goes. Huh? Who the hell are you? I'm the guy you've been waiting for, Mr. Oarai. The man glared at him. It's Oarai, he said. Anyway, I'm Minorikawa. Sorry to keep you waiting. Oh, man. Though really a short wait is a small price to pay for the chance to be interviewed by me. Well, I hope you appreciate how valuable my time is now that you're taking a snap to Oarai. Wow, someone sure has a high opinion of himself, Minorikawa replied. He marched up to Oarai. Damn right I do. I'm Shinosuke Oarai. The theater man got right up in Minorikawa's face. Like anyone that even cares. A jolt of tension sparked between the two men. Around this time, there was a similar jolt of tension between two other people, Kenji Osawa and Mamoru Tanaka. Should I just do the jump now? Should I do this later? I'll do it later. I beg your pardon, no one interrupted, but Mr. Oarai does have a schedule to keep. And who are you, miss? Tsukozawa, I'm the producer. Well, listen, Sue, I'm in the middle of an interview here. Please don't interrupt. What? That's how you conduct an interview? That's right. This is how I roll. Look, whatever, I growled. Let's just do this already. Fine by me. Two men sat down at opposite sides of the table in the lobby. Tsukozawa spoke up again. Mr. Oarai, don't forget the meeting you have after this. Yeah, handle that, would you? And Nakao let out a derisive snort. It's like you're holding court, he said. Do people actually hang around you with that kind of attitude? You have no right to judge my acting troupe. When Nakao straightened up in his chair, a mocking smile on his lips. Oh, so it's your acting troupe, huh? He said. Why not just play all the roles yourself? Heck, you could even be your own audience. How dare you? Oarai rose to his feet and made to his leave. But Tsukuzawa hurried him back down into his chair. Minorikawa continued as if he hadn't heard. So what is it that you do anyway? He asked. Oarai raised an incredulous eyebrow. You don't know? No, why should I? You came to an interview without knowing anything about who you were interviewing? Yep. That's it. Get out! Oarai roared and pointed angrily toward the exit. How dare an unmannered clod like you come in here and waste my time? Hey, who's being unmannered now? I came all the way out here to hear your story, didn't I? Why don't you get out? Minorikawa pointed at the exit as well. Why the hell should I have to leave? Oarai demanded. This is my house. Theater jargon for the theater itself, especially the main auditorium. Look, just get out! This time both yelled and pointed toward the exit in unison. Tsukuzawa quickly interposed herself between them, forcing a smile. Gentlemen, please calm down, she said. Then she turned to Minorikawa. You should be aware that Mr. Oarai used to be a broadcast writer. Someone who writes for television or radio programs. A great show depends not only on the actor's performances, but on the skills of the broadcast writer. He's responsible for a lot of big hits. You don't need to mention that, Oarai grumbled. Nonetheless, Tsukuzawa rattled off the names of several shows, and Minorikawa did indeed recognize many of them. Remembered. So how come you're running a failing theater now? Failing? Oarai went red in the face. I'm not wrong, am I? You're absolutely the rudest person I've ever met. What would a rank amateur like yourself know about theater? Oarai's face was dark with rage, but Minorikawa didn't back down. Listen, this has nothing to do with how well your theater is or it isn't doing, he snapped. The television world wouldn't accept you, so in order to retain your pride as an entertainer, you started doing theater. Isn't that so? Don't act like you know anything. I've staked my entire life on the theater. It seemed as if Oarai might throw a punch at any moment. Sure, city theater might seem small time compared to TV, but you got a lot more of a response from it. Response? Oh, now that sounds interesting. Darn right, Oarai exclaimed. You can see it from up on stage. The audience, you can see their faces. There's a passion in Oarai's voice now. You can really feel it. When the audience is enjoying themselves, you can feel that energy. You can't get that from doing television. Thinking back on it now, my time spent working on TV. Let's see, what's a good analogy? It's like being handed a towel that's already damp. No, that's not right. Okay, so a better analogy would be, without further preamble, Oarai began talking about his tribulations back in his broadcast writer days. When Minorikawa smiled inwardly. The interview ended promptly after 15 minutes, the time that had been promised. Both men emerged from it as if from a daze. Minorikawa found himself staring Oarai in the face, shaking him by the hand. So what kind of story did I just get? He asked, speaking half to himself. You heard about one man and his life, and I had to admit, it was a good interview. Thanks, you have my gratitude. With a satisfied smile, Minorikawa closed his notebook. Right, glad to hear that then. Oarai inclined his head, looking a bit bewildered. Professor Tsukuzawa interrupted. Mr. Minorikawa, wasn't this interview for a piece about the performance? Huh? Minorikawa blinked. It's just that you were only asking about Mr. Oarai, not about the performance itself, Tsukuzawa said. Oh, I see what you mean. Actually, I came here for a piece I'm going to be writing called Where Are They Now? Washed Up Broadcast Writers Showcase. Washed up? Oarai was red in the face all over again. You bastard! How dare you! Forget everything I just told you. I do not give you my permission to use it in your magazine. You're too late. What? I've already heard your whole story. You should be grateful that I'll be writing a piece on it. You bastard! The wild look in his eyes, Oarai snatched up a hammer. The stage crew had up nearby. Ouch! I haven't even hit you yet. Oarai waved the hammer menacingly. But the attack came to a sudden halt as the ringtone startled him out of his fury. Hold on a moment, Minorikawa sighed brightly after I take this. He whipped out his cell phone. Hello, Mr. Minorikawa speaking. This is Osawa. Wow, we got back a lot sooner than Minorikawa had expected. Your daughters come home then? Oh, hello. No? Actually, there's a favor I'd like to ask you. A favor? Minorikawa thought back to his visit to the Osawa residence. The drawn curtains, the stricken look on Osawa's face. Minorikawa's instincts had sensed something significant going on. Apparently, getting the full story wasn't going to come without some cost. A favor, huh? Is it something urgent? I'll pay whatever I have to. I just need you to look into something as quickly as possible. His voice had the telltale desperation of a man who'd been backed into a corner. Alright, Minorikawa said. I can help you out for a little while. Sao hurriedly explained that he was after. The quest was a strange one. He wanted Minorikawa to look into a scandalous article that 4-star general gossip had run about him in the past. What makes this so important? Do I have to say? I mean, you're asking me to look into something without explaining anything. He eyed Oarai, lurking nearby with obvious irritation. Minorikawa would need to calm down the erstwhile broadcast writer, or else his interview really would be for naught. He decided to bluff both men at the same time. Let me just say one thing, he said into the phone. He made sure he spoke loud and clear so that Oarai wouldn't overhear. I want to tell the world this story. No, I need to tell it. If I don't feel that way about something, no amount of money in the world will get me to write an article on it. That's my pride as a writer at work. Minorikawa could see our eyes roar with rage fading as he listened. The theater man looked surprised. Ooh. Meanwhile, Sawa had decided to open up a little bit. Alright, he said. I can't share all the details, but... Okay, he's in a talkative mood now. Good job, Minorikawa. See, this is going fine. The power balance of the entire world might be at stake here, Sawa continued on. I mean that quite literally. I can tell you more after you're done investigating. Wait, was he serious? How could the world balance of power hinge on looking into some alleged marital affair? It was so absurd that Minorikawa had to fight the urge to burst out laughing. A person would need to be out of his mind to believe a story like that. Minorikawa wasn't the average person. And sometimes the truth was so ridiculous it really was stranger than fiction. Sawa wasn't lying. Minorikawa's instincts told him that much. Alright, he said. I'll check the editing department's notes from back then. Minorikawa felt the excitement building. Things were really getting interesting. For the moment, he nearly forgot Toyama and his troubles. When he ended the call, Oarai approached him and extended his hand. Listen, your methods might be a little extreme, but I can tell you take pride in your work. Of course I do. I'm sorry for getting so worked up. I bet you'd write a fine article about me. So please, Mr. Nakao, let the world know about me and my half-lived life. Nakao took the offered hand and shook it. Leave it to me. Once I'm done with it, you won't just be some washed-up nobody anymore, Mr. Oarai. It's Oarai. Nakao grinned. Minorikawa rushed out of the theater. He completed all interviews that he could get done before 4 o'clock. Now he had an hour left to write it all up to convince the folks on the loan company the gossip could stay afloat. Louder roar, psyching himself up for the final push. To be continued. Yes, points like these makes me want to play more, but it's like, god dang it, man, my voice, my throat.